Okay, I know we're covering a lot of ground here. I love teaching this part of what we do in the CHIRP program, but it's a lot of information to take in, so feel free to take a time out whenever you need it. But I'm going to talk now about how does our communication fall apart. One reason is a lot of strong beliefs that the teens and parents, all of us have them, that get in the way. We describe them as strong because they tend to bring up these intense feelings of worry, fear, anger, that lead to tension in the conversation. And these actions that emanate from that may be out of proportion to what's most appropriate and helpful in a situation. So if everybody's thoughts and beliefs affect their feelings, affects their actions. So while everybody has different strong beliefs, some are more common than others. These are examples of strong beliefs on the part of us as parents often. So some of the strong beliefs that can cause conflict and get in the way of working out these issues with one another is feeling like, I've got to change this right away. That this behavior's got to stop, this is dangerous, this is worrisome, I've got to change this immediately. Very few things can be changed immediately, and as a matter of fact, the gravity and the intensity of the emotions that goes in a situation like that is more likely to evoke more of a rebellious, oppositional attitude. Another one's, I have to change the way he or she is thinking, okay? Well, that's the whole thing about especially adolescence and young adulthood, that thinking is changing all the time. They're experimenting and developing new ways of looking at the world. Things are kind of coming apart and being put together at a different developmental level in their cognitive skills. Learning from experience may be the best thing to getting that belief and thinking back into a more rational route. I have to make this a life lesson. Sometimes there's a feeling that we've got to really grandstand an issue. I have to solve this problem for my teen, or they'll make a bad choice. So making all our decisions for that young person for fear of what might happen if they make a bad choice, but how are they going to learn in life without making some of those choices and experiencing the consequences? I have to counteract all bad peer and social influences. One of the biggest worries on the part of parents is when the kids get out of the home, who they're going to meet, what kind of influence they're going to have on them. Our social media and that smartphone they have in their hands often is the same kind of thing. What are they getting exposed to in terms of those influences? I have to make sure that my teen doesn't ruin his or her life. That's the real catastrophic thinking one right there. That my teen is breaking my rules just to annoy me. I like that one. At times it does seem like they're living life to make our lives uncomfortable. My teen just doesn't notice all the hard work that we do to get him or her better or help them deal with their stressful situations. They're not going to acknowledge that or recognize it until they're probably their mid-20s, I like to say. We as parents have to be pretty strong within ourselves and resilient so that we don't need that affirmation on a regular basis. Just enjoy it when it comes down the road. So what are some of the teen strong beliefs? My parents should let me manage my life or my illness in a medical situation on my own. In other words, I can do this completely. And I've seen teens where they petition to do that and do a miserable job of managing it. My parents shouldn't worry about me. Parents are going to worry no matter what. We need to learn how to control that worry or not act out on that worry all the time and become overly protective. We're going to worry, but we need to demonstrate to them how we manage our worry. My parents should trust me and give me my total freedom. Good luck with that one. I should never do anything to upset my parents. Some teens who are too anxious and young people who are too anxious are afraid of anybody being upset with them or disagreeing with them or losing that support. And they need to learn to be a little bit of rebellion is a good thing. Okay, they need to be a little bit more comfortable with sometimes pushing the envelope a little bit or taking some risk within reason. My parents are being strict just to annoy me. That's a flip-flop of them annoying us. That's when they'll lay it on you with some frequency. You're just trying to be obnoxious. Nothing I can do will help make me feel better. That's kind of throwing up their hands. And I'm going to go back to our problem-solving session when we talked about that that kind of all or nothing thinking, and that can be so overwhelming and lead to feelings of being anxious or unhappy. my stress is too much to handle on my own, and at times that may be the truth, but at other times, stress is a part of life, and we all need to learn how to identify stress, how to do some stress management and coping strategies that will help us decrease that stress, decrease the stressors that are on us, or manage the stress that we have more effectively. And we're working on a lot of tools in CHIRP to try and help with that. If my parents loved me, they would let me miss school when I don't feel I can go. No, that's your job. Okay, school is your job, and it's going to be important that you make good decisions about when you need to go and when you can't go. And nothing I do is good enough for my parents. I think some teens will say that. Sometimes I think that's a strategy they use to try to guilt us out and make us feel bad. But we do set expectations for them, and it's important they learn how to meet those. So we're talking about then some strong beliefs. We're talking about how our support may be misguided at times and be missing the mark, and about how we communicate about these things more effectively. In addition to these strong beliefs that are getting in the way, family members have very different styles of communicating. So we get stuck in those communication patterns that aren't helpful. We're going to talk about some examples of negative communication patterns and their more positive alternatives. And I'm going to put up this list right here, and there's a copy of this list on this illustration in the comments below.